Kane, it's 1-0. We're fucking down. 13th in the championship. The takeover happened, as I said it would. People will be... Oh, when have we got Leeds? Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Your Football Show, and we're here to react to Daniel Farke's press conference. Big news coming out, probably some celebrating. I'm definitely not one of them. Of course, Patrick Bamford is a major doubt, massive bang on his knee. Look, Daniel Farke did add that if this game was being played Saturday or Sunday, then he would have made it. He would have been fine. So I think there's a big chance he still makes it, because, like, had he have 24 hours later, not even 24 hours, let's say we kick off at 12:30, let's say we kick off at 3, he plays on a Saturday. So can he get through 90 minutes? Yeah, I think so. But it is a big loss for us, Vic, you're right. Just on the day that I released the Tranquillo shirts as well, there are some Bamford Tranquillo shirts available. Like I say, it's nothing major. We're just going to do some. I've actually got one being made at the minute with, we're going to call it Cree Punk. So it's going to be Crescencio Somerville with the CM Punk hand wraps. Because obviously he's been doing this, GTS. He probably doesn't realise that's what it is. But for me, we talk wrestling on here. That's the GTS. So we've got a Cree Punk top coming. So make sure you look out for that. Also, some exciting news, folks. So obviously I'm going to try to hit 30k, right? I want to get there before May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. Look, there's like 9 days. It's going to be difficult because there's about 1,400. So I don't know if Cree Punk. See, I want to put the M on. I want to put the M on, Joe. So I'm stealing the M. Thank you for that, mate. That's where. But yeah, the shirt I came up with in my head. But yeah, not with the M. So I'm going to do that Cree Punk. So there's a shirt that'll come out that'll hopefully bang. I know I'll definitely be buying it. So 30k. I've got a giveaway. Three prizes. One for each 10k, okay? But it won't be gifted until we hit 30k, okay? So, 1 second. You can, if you subscribe to me and follow Football Prizes on Instagram, 3 prizes available. A Willie Nonto signed away shirt. A Willie Nonto signed third shirt. Home shirt, sorry. Or a Willie Nonto signed third shirt. Okay? All with certificate of authenticity. Don't do any... I mean, if you've not subscribed, subscribe now. But I am going to create an online giveaway where if you follow them on Instagram, you subscribe to me, you'll be entered into the draw. Then what will happen is on the day that we hit 30k, hopefully on the promotion stream that I'll be doing at 7 p.m, I can announce the 3 winners, okay? So if you are one of them 40% that aren't subscribed and you want the opportunity to win one of them shirts, then make sure you do subscribe and make sure you follow Football Prizes on Instagram. But the official, I've mentioned it now, but the official, like, enter tickets, we will be there. Hopefully you can hear me. Mic's fine. I've just moved away a bit. That's all. It happens. But 1 second while I just put them back over there. But yeah, you can win. Yeah, Andy, I was supposed to start at 1 because I thought the press conference would run longer. Whenever you see the press conference one, just know that as soon as it's finished, I will go live. I just set it so that it's sorted. Okay, so that's that. Right, we'll get into the presser then. So we know Patrick Bamford is a major doubt, okay? Pat Bamford is a major doubt. He's got something wrong with his knee. What that is yet, I don't know. He's took a bang, he's took a bruise. We know or knew that Dan James was going to be out. That's no surprises there. But we'll go through and go in. Don't forget as well, don't forget. Oh, listen, big up to Joe. Big up to Joe. This isn't no like competition thing or anything like that. I just want to hit 30k. I want to see other creators do well. I might not agree with them all, but we're all in the same space. I know how much it is of a grind, especially when you've still got your full-time job, which Joe's got. So big up to Joe. Big up to Connor One Leeds doing his bit full-time. Big up to LUFC Lewis, who does it alongside working with the BBC. I know how difficult this game is. So as much as I might not agree with some, as much as we might take little shots at one another, it's all kidology, you know what I mean? It is what it is. It's all part of the game at the end of the day. And listen, life would be boring if we all agreed, right? Like, let's be real. Life would be absolutely boring. So there's nothing in this where I'm like, ugh. Like, big up to Matt. There you go. Make sure you go subscribe to Matt. He's 4 subs away from hitting 400. Yeah. So make sure you go and support Matt. Evie as well. When she eventually comes, it's the most long-awaited like enter into YouTube. But you know, you just got to keep building that suspense. She knows what she's doing. Joe Blackburn as well, another one. Make sure you go subscribe. Yeah, I was on there the other day. If you haven't seen, I made some predictions back at Christmas. I was pretty close. Pretty close. I mean, I don't want to speak. No, I'm joking. Yeah. Right. So smash a like. Make sure you subscribe. As I say, giveaway will come out officially soon. Shirts are available. Cream Punk coming soon as well, and many more ideas in my head as well. And look, there's Danny Rumsey. He's starting a channel soon. There you go. Danny Talks Sport. Subscribed to Matt Leeds. There you go. Yeah, I love that. He was at WrestleMania thing. Finish the story. Then when she does, we're like that. You deserve it. Yeah, man. Big up to you, Vic. That's really nice of you to say, mate. That's really nice of you to say. But let's get stuck into there you go, Jess, as well. Jess Talks Football. Jess Talks Football fan channel, has some crazy midnight late streams and stuff. So yeah, if you struggle to sleep, make sure you check out Jess. There's loads on offer for every single type of content you all want. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, Daniel, bang on the money, exactly. You know the score. Anyway, right, okay, so what does smoke and mirrors mean? What does this mean? What does that mean? Does that insinuate that what does that mean? Explain to me what smoke and mirrors means. I want to know. Let's have a look. Smoke and mirrors. Mirrors meaning. Let's have a look. Something that is tended to make you believe that something is being done or is true when it is not. So you think I'm lying? Okay. What am I lying about, Martin Lawrenson, who's a member? Yeah, tell me. I want to know. Right, okay, so Farke's here. Went in on injuries. Let's talk about it. Oh, it's about Bamford, not you, Joe. All right, okay. I was like, why? What do you mean? What have I said that's not true? Yeah, okay, that's fine then. I've got a little bit about that as well. Oh, Farke's comments, right, okay. Either he thinks you're lying or it's a real deep comment. Right, so Farke's here. Here's the injuries. Let's get straight in. So normally with James' injury, you're out for about 2 to 3 weeks, about 12 days normally, but there is a bit of hope. Our medical team are working 24 hours a day to make it available for the last game. Realistic to say we'll probably miss the game, but a nice surprise if he does make it. I think as well the fact that it's one game against Southampton on the final day, but then he has a full pre-season holiday to recuperate. So if they can patch him up, they probably will. But I think he won't make it. And it's a good job that Willie Gnonto's found some form, or has been in great form, since since the turn of the year. Because if not, then I don't know who would have played there. Would we have been going back to the Birmingham days and playing Jamie Shackleton at right mid? I hope not. I hope not. God forbid. But yeah, I think Daniel James's season will be done now, much like Connor Roberts. And I don't think we'll probably see Connor Roberts in the Leeds side again. Lilo, man, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ban you, bro, because every single video you come on and just say that, and it's boring, man. It's not funny. It's, you know, we try to have decent conversation and all that sort of shit, and you just put that in every time we're on, and it's just boring and not funny. I need you to go get some new material. I'll leave it for now, but if it comes in again, I'm just going to ban you, because it's just boring. Really boring. You need to get some new material, my man. Anyway, so that's Dan James. So it's realistic to say we'll probably miss the game, but a nice surprise if he does make it. If he does make it, he'll be sat on the bench, but I'd imagine he'll be called on as a last resort, right? All the players came through Monday, which is great. He says there are a few hits and knocks causing late decisions, but the only major doubt is Bamford, because he's got a big bruise on his knee. It's a fucking bruise on your knee. Like, come on, get through it. Get through the pain barrier. There'll be some out there that'll be like, I don't know, maybe secretly buzzing because they think they're going to see Mateo. I'll tell you now, Mateo won't start in this game against QPR. I don't think. I'd be very shocked. So you'd be looking at Pirro. So if you're that much of a Bamford hater that you're like, yes, Joseph will start, the other alternative is Pirro. And I don't think he's got a lot of love within the fan base right now either. Killian, because if we got promoted, what do you need him for? Let's talk cold, hard truths. Let's talk cold, hard truths. Do you think Connor Roberts is a Premier League right-back? Because Burnley didn't. We didn't, as much as I like Connor Roberts, we didn't sign him on an obligation or an option to buy after the loan. We just signed him on a straight loan. So, listen, I'm just trying to, what do you say, be brutal or whatever, but I think, yeah. No, but we don't back up okay, but then will Burnley want to sell having been relegated because they didn't have an obligation or an option to buy? How much will he cost? All these different scenarios you have to take in. Personally, I would keep Byram as your backup. You also have Archie Gray that can play there. You need a number one right back, Byram as a backup, and also Archie can play there if needs be. We won't have untold amounts of money. That's just my opinion, no. That's just my opinion. Byram's going to cost you a contract. Roberts will be a fee and a contract. You can also play Archie there if you needed to. Yeah, I just don't see it happening. But I don't mind it, though. Don't get me wrong. Listen, if they sign Roberts, yes, sound is a top guy, but he's not your starting right back. And I think Leeds United need to go and get a starting right back for me. So there you go. Yeah, but either you could have put an option in there and obligate. You know what I mean? I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. Because either club, yeah. Anyway, we moved, don't we? It is what it is. We'll see what happens in the summer. Everton safe, Joe. Bet you would swap places now, lads. No, mate. But well done last night. I actually watched your game. Well done. It's the first time you've done it in, I don't know, decades on your home ground. Great achievement. See if you can do it next year and the year after. Once in a while's not up to much, really, is it, Ancelotti? But no, I wouldn't. Definitely won't. I definitely wouldn't swap places with you, mate. We're going there. You're about to get taken over by 777, who are crooks, and crooks, and every club they've taken over has gone backwards. Some even get relegated. So, no, I definitely wouldn't want to be in your position. Your stadium's nice, though. I've been to Wallasey, and you can see it from Wallasey over the water, and it looks really cool. But will it look that good in the Championship? I'm not too sure. Because if you float above the water, enough, you will eventually go down the plug hole. So, yeah, no worries there, Ancelotti. So then Adam Pope asked him about Bamford and said, Bamford, if it was Saturday or Sunday, would he play? And he said probably yes. So that means he's very close, yeah? I know footballers need to be looked after and stuff, and you have to take into consideration that we might need Pat on the final day. Well, we will need Pat. So do you risk him against QPR? But for me, at this stage of the season, just win the game that's next. Forget about... Because the pressure we need to put on Ipswich is huge. And like Ryan just mentioned earlier, the game last night between Hull and Coventry was insane. Hull came through it. Hull play Ipswich Saturday night. A win keeps them in the hunt. It also showed Coventry is still in the party. Yeah, they might not mathematically and all that sort of stuff, but they're still here to play. Mark Robbins won't let them drop off. I do think there is a lot of a lot of it, if I'm being honest, I may be wrong, but a lot of it's coming from negative, what I would perceive to be negative fans, because it's like, everything's good. Oh no, but, nothing to play for now. Footballers just go and play fecking football matches. Cardiff had nothing to play for. They had kids, 18-year-olds. They beat Southampton. I think sometimes we can read too much into it, myself included. You know, Borough were already done. They were never getting in the playoffs. But look at the game they put up against us. So I don't go into this narrative of, oh, well, nah, on the beach now, and all that sort of jazz. I just don't buy it. Look, Coventry are a very good side, and away from home against anybody, they will be difficult. So, yeah, there's shackles off going into next season, all that sort of stuff. And like Evie says, it could actually free them up. Because you've just to look at the top four. When each team has gone towards the top of the league, Southampton being the worst case, they've all crumbled like a biscuit. Because the pressure's different. Leeds United, when the shackles were off and were 17 points behind, were putting teams to bed within the first 20 minutes. Bam, 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 going. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. Southampton, when the pressure was off, the miles away, they dropped off. Bam, 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 bam. As soon as they got back in with it, within 3 points, game in hand, pressure, 5-0. What? And like Paul mentions here, their keeper was coming up in the final minute. Their keeper. It's mad. So yeah, I don't fall into that narrative. Look, Hull City on Saturday, humdinger. Because West Brom play Sheff Wednesday away. Won't be easy. Sheff Wednesday, a point could happen, and West Brom have dropped. Let's not forget West Brom still might drop out as well, because West Brom are now on the same points as Norwich. So there's 2 spots now still up for grabs. So watch this space. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting end to the season at both ends of the table. And of course, we can cover that tonight, 6 o'clock. White Rose rivals, Yorkshire on fire, Leeds back to winning ways, Sheff Wednesday winning, and of course, Hull City winning last night, putting them in the promotion hunt. Rotherham got a point. Obviously, Huddersfield got slapped up 4-0. But we'll talk about it. 6 o'clock, White Rose rivals. Low-key coming soon. It's my most favourite show of the week at this point, because we have a great banter. Anyway, yeah, so that's live at 6 o'clock, so make sure you join us for that. He was asked in the presser how bold he needed to be, or how bold will you need to be? How much will you have to come away from what you've done this season to ensure, fortune favours the brave and all that. Well, here comes Salam Brothers. I don't know if you noticed as well, and again, listen, there's more tacticos out there than me, but Oscar Marriott put a great tweet about how Daniel Farke had just switched it to a 4-1-4-1 in the most recent game, with Gruev being the single pivot like Calvin, and Gray playing favour up, and that's why I'm probably seeing Rutter more in midfield than I was used to, because I kept saying, like Andrea mentioned about Middlesbrough having a 3 and Finn Azaz dropping in, and they'll win that. But we seem to have Rutter dropping, and whether that's because, we were in that 4-1-4-1 shape, I don't see that stuff at the time. But it's good that Farke is being flexible, because, again, the more negative of fans, when we were struggling, were saying he has, no flexibility, and then you see the goals we score against Middlesbrough. You see the little tactical tweaks like dropping off in the second half, going 4-1-4-1 instead of the 4-2-3-1. So all these people that are saying this, just tell them they're chatting shit, okay? So how bold do you need to be? He says it's important to be ourselves. This is going on a mad one again, isn't it? It always does this, but I do like that it focuses, but when it just jumps around, you know. How bold do you need to be? So he said it's important to be ourselves on the pitch. We have to be brave and fully convinced and stick to our beliefs. QPR play not like a team facing the drop. They spent plenty of time building their philosophy on the training pitch. Obviously, the coach, Cifuentes, he says they play with possession of the football. You have to be brave to press this side. Against Borough, we changed our approach to be more pragmatic, and we are capable of doing this, but our DNA is attacking games and being brave in this topic. I am genuinely excited, or nervous excitement, to see how QPR go after this game, because a point probably saves them 3 guarantees. I still think they'll stay up if they lost the rest of them, because the ones at the bottom won't make up the points difference in 2 games. Obviously, Huddersfield play Birmingham this weekend as well. So someone's always got to go in that one. They're both not getting 3 points. So that could also then mean you've got 2 spots then, although not mathematically, but you'd imagine whoever loses between Huddersfield and Birmingham gets one of them spots. And then it's a toss-up between the one who wins the game and Sheff Wednesday for me. So I think QPR will be fine, but they won't rest on their laurels. You know, they'll try and get a result at home, although their home form hasn't been great. You know, I did the preview that went out last night. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. History isn't on our side at Loftus Road. But this season, Farke has smashed a lot of records that previously stood, so I'm not too worried. But I am intrigued, that was the word, not nervous, intrigued to see how QPR set up. He was then asked if he has faith in his players to change their approach. And he says, if you want to change your approach during an important game, you have to believe in your players. We were working on these topics on the training pitch. We can play in different setups. If we have to switch from man to zonal, oriented structure, sit deeper, or the other way around, it's not that easy to get messages. It's not that easy to get messages across during noisy games, but practicing training helps. And he's obviously done well in training. Evie Farke's record against QPR is very good. He's very good. It is very good, actually. I can't tell you off the top of my head because I deleted my notes from yesterday and replaced them with these notes, but he has got a good record against QPR. So that was him, Ari, changing the approach, clearly been working on a few tactical things, and maybe that 9-day layoff helped us. Yeah, helped us. He said, if you win, he was asked, if you win, will you allow a celebration? You know, there's the celebration police out at the minute for Leicester celebrating their victory against Southampton. If you can't celebrate a 5-0 thumping against one of your promotion rivals, then when can you celebrate? I'm never about this, you know, you've gone too early. No, they've just battered someone 5-0 and have probably secured, although not mathematically, they've probably secured promotion. So, come on. And Farke said the same as well. Yes, it's important to enjoy the moment. So I've been saying to people, I know it's Jesse Marsh tax, but enjoy the moment because football is fleeting. That's why when I celebrate results of other teams like Southampton getting beat by Cardiff, I have someone coming for me on Twitter saying, what are you doing? Why are you celebrating it? Okay, should I not? No, you should wait for us. I said, all right, okay, so what we'll do at the start of every campaign, just don't celebrate any wins whatsoever until the end because you don't know what the outcome is. It's stupid talk. Celebrate the moments because football is fleeting. Look, we have to celebrate it, especially after an unlucky week with results, when you consider the Sunderland and the Coventry results. So it's never easy to win the momentum back. To do this against a side on fire during the game and before in form. Obviously, Middlesbrough were 9 games undefeated. So he said, to do that on the road, we're all proud, and you cannot beat that winning feeling. And you could see the players, you know, back on form after the game. Farke the same. Rutter giving it the wait. It's what we want. We want a happy camp. You don't want players going, let's not celebrate that because so-and-so have got to play Tuesday. Nah, fuck that. He said, being able to celebrate is a reward for all your hard work on the training pitch. It's important not to get carried away because nothing is done. I allowed myself a few minutes before preparing my message to the players. So even here, I had some of that German, you know. And we seen him when he came down the tunnel. He gave the little wink to the camera. I love that stuff. You know, it was important we got back to winning ways. And as Chris Somerville tells us, back to winning ways. Back to winning ways. Big day at Wembley, playoff final. If you could guarantee me playoff final win, I'd take it. But give me automatics over that lottery, mate, if I'm honest. But I've always said it's better to go up. I would rather go up in the playoffs if you could guarantee me it than win the league. Because the day out at Wembley. He was asked what will be the message tomorrow. They are in a situation there where they have confirmed they will stay in this league. Not mathematically, but yeah. He said they could theoretically still be a danger and need 3 or 1 more point. They will play this in a good mood with good confidence. Not a typical... Right, so Philip here. Farke says not a typical side sitting deep and waiting for set pieces. They are a good possession side. Different to when... Gareth Ainsworth were managing them. I've not seen much of QPR under Cifuentes, but I've heard calls of him up there being with manager of the season for the turnaround after Ainsworth left. So should have been in the conversation. So let's wait and see. I'm not going to say they're going to sit on it and get a point. Not when when the general consensus seems to be they play a certain style. But we'll see. We'll see. He was asked about Gray playing in midfield. Obviously, if you remember, I was quite critical. And was it an intention to free up Somerville, which is what my man Oscar Marriott said before this presser even came. So big up to Oscar Marriott, because then that question was then posed to Farke. Maybe they stole his question. It actually came from Graham Smith as well, and Joe Donoghue retweeted it. So I think you stole his question there, actually. The more I think about it, you stole his question. One of Archie's strengths is he can cover lots of distance backwards and forwards, take the channel and join the attack, bring himself into dangerous positions, as we've seen in the build-up to the third goal. Assist or score a goal. My camera's on a fucking mad one again. I wish it would just stay here. But, yeah, anyway. Let me see if I can mess around with it this way. One sec, folks. I just don't like how close that is. I feel like when I do it on the thing, it goes... let's come out. There, that's all right. No, I don't, mate. No. Celebrated. Forgetting counting chickens before the action, all that. Anyway, not in football, Andy. Not in football. Definitely not in football. Not in football. Because football is fleeting. Enjoy moments. Fans enjoy it against you when they beat you. It's all part of the game. Can you imagine not celebrating, right, as much as we did against Derby and Frank Lampard? How much fun did we have? Stop crying Frank Lampard and that. At Pride Park, he's blowing a gasket. We go down and, we beat them start of the season. And then we have them at Ellen Road and we slap them up on the day that it was announced that we'd been to view training. Jack Clark scores. I think it was like 4-1, 3-1. Great night. Loved it. Stop crying Frank Lampard. Imagine not celebrating that because they might beat you in the playoff semi. That's my point. Their moments were brilliant. The time we had was great. Much fun was had. Was it 2-0? I think it was more than that, do we know? At Ellen Road that night. I mean, I was at the game, but you know what my memory is like. I think it was more than that, no? Or was it just a comfortable 2-0 thrashing? So it might have been the 4-1 then at Ellen Road. Yeah. Anyway. So Gray's forward runs. So it brings himself into dangerous positions. Gets assists, create goals. We've been lacking that intensity in terms of a goal threat from midfield, and he can offer that to his game, which is what a lot of people have been saying. In the first half, he needed more balance. He was too advanced, too high to have a good structure for our build-up. Do not have a structure to control counters if too advanced. So it's important for our strength in midfield. We win many duels, need some patience, and this will come with experience. Adapt to this midfield role. Smart and intelligent boy is what was said. And maybe that's why I've not been enamoured with his performances in midfield up to this point, because he has been adapting after playing right back all season. Yeah, but he's been phenomenal and deserves Player of the Year, Young Player of the Year for sure. Farke was then asked about possible Bamford absence, and was said, would you use Mateo Joseph? That was what came out from, I think it was Graham Smith that asked. He said, I trust all my players. Whoever is on the pitch will have trust and backing. Obviously a big miss if Patrick actually misses the game. Actually, may not. We have to adapt to the fixture list and situation. He's important for us in terms of goals and natural instinct where to be, which again, a lot of his off-ball stuff people don't rate. You know, they're bemoaning for his misses, but if you look at that game where he did miss a few, he's the one getting on the end, whereas Pirode ghosted up to that point. He mentioned his goal at Borough was a typical striker goal. Great movement. Ball comes in. Boof. Just bear me 1 second. The dog's chewing the shit out of something. What are you doing? What are you doing? Right. Leave that alone. Don't be silly. Fucking eating it as well, mate. Like, I don't know why you do that. Sorry. Anyway, so, sorry, he was just eating plastic. Like, I mean, they've been fed. What are you eating plastic for? Mad dogs. Anyway, so, yeah, he mentioned his goal at Borough. Typical striker goal. This is what Patrick has. He's crucial in our pressing, our workload, linking play, holding the ball up, and his experience. Again, these are all things that he doesn't get credit from the fan base for. Tranquillo, as the shirt says. You know, he's been in similar situations before. And also his experience when you look at the rest of the front line, Nonto, 20, Rutter, 22, Somerville, 22. Bamford is important as he calms the lads down, but he can also fire them up. You need experience in this role. We adapt to the reality, though, perhaps not available to start the game. We will find other solutions and give all the backing and trust to the other players. Yeah? So there you go. If that's the man that's picking him. And that's why he's picking of him, because of all them things that he's just listed there. On belief, he says what this league is about momentum, and it can change very quickly. He mentioned Leeds United being one of the most emotional clubs in the world. Also, in terms of the dressing room, there's no replacement for a winning feeling. Win against Borough was obviously beneficial for the table and his confidence and the team's confidence. But he says, like, in 2024, this year, we've won by far the most points. But one unlucky result makes a difference even for a few percent with your self-confidence. And we've seen at the end of the game, just getting through, how important it was. Same goes for Leicester. They were not great against West Brom. They win the game, confidence back. They slap up Southampton 5-0. Fatawu scores a hat-trick. You know? You can't... Fatu's had a good season, but I watched him against West Brom. He wasn't good. He hasn't been good for a number of weeks. I've watched a lot of Leicester. Mavadidi's gone off the boil. Vardy missed a couple of chances earlier on in the season. He missed a penalty against West Brom. They then score 5. Why? Because they won a game. Confidence. Yeah, we're going to do this. Leeds United hopefully will have the same at QPR. And he mentioned how scoring 4 goals was important after not scoring, bringing a tight lead over the line. Again, like Leicester. He says, we had resilience, we had clearances from our fullbacks, Joe Rodon, Ilian, after 1 or 2 avoidable goals. Meslier then has a last-minute save from Johnny Howson, and he kept the ball. Didn't give chance for a rebound, which that ball was fizzed by Howson, and he did collect it. So he says it does show a good reaction to in-game moments as well. What are you saying, Creswell, for Michael Pellard? That ship has sailed, my man. What were you even talking about him for? Farke on playing before Ipswich. Will that have a bearing? He says, if we win, yes. You know, it's huge because it makes it difficult for them. He mentions the schedule, though, and how tough it is. And he's mentioned that we're not blessed at all. We've got a lot of load. It is the same for Ipswich. They've got to play 3 games in 7 days, which we've mentioned, after 2 weeks without a game. And that was obviously due to Coventry. And there was no other chance to play that fixture. But here's again, and this is great management from him and the club, really, because he mentions how earlier on in the season, when we had progressed in the Cup, we took the decision to play Norwich. If you remember, we said, no, we'll play Norwich in the middle of the week. And they did that so that we could have 3 normal weeks at the end of the season. So when you look at that now, that decision there by Farke at the time, and I think we beat Norwich. We beat Norwich as well. So although we might have bemoaned it at the time, the reason he made that decision is so that we would have 3 weeks at the end of the season. Now look at Ipswich. They've now got to play 3 games in 7 days. So again, great management and knowledge of the Championship. Because at that time, he's probably looked at his squad, players available, and gone, yeah, we'll get through this. We'll get through this. So I think that's quite decent. But then he does also mention that we have had 10 days off. They postpone our game to Monday, then 2 away games in 4 days. So, yeah. I hear him there. It's still not great, but I would still much rather have our situation over Ipswich. But, yeah, the scheduling from Sky's not great, and it's only going to get worse next year because I think there's only going to be because of the new bumper deal, I think there's only going to be 4 3 p.m. kickoffs every week. All the rest will be at different times. You'll have a morning, an afternoon, an evening, Sunday games. It's mad. It's mad, because of the new deal. Of course, it means more money, but what about the match-going fan, etc.? It's frustrating for them. Farke on turning negatives into positives. Obviously, there was a lot of chat about belief and, all that stuff. And I'd even seen fans mocking it online, saying, I'm a moaner, I'm a moaner. It really upsets me, man, that people don't believe in us, man. No, it really upsets me that people don't believe in us, man.
You know what's so crazy, man? It's it breaks my heart. Nah, it really fucking breaks my heart that there's people out there that don't believe in us. Speedy, they don't believe in us.
Which is true, man. Many didn't. The mourners, if you like. They did not believe in us. We did not believe in us. But Farke says we have to, because we can only accept the things we change, right? We spoke about this the other day. We can't influence the fixtures, etc., decisions, all that sort of stuff. He says it's important that we believe behind the scenes. We speak with key people about these topics. He's mentioned about the game days and stuff. It's more a bemoaning of the fixture schedule and all that sort of stuff is what it is. Mentioned Farke, I was asked about our players' ability in crunch times, and he says, I was convinced of the character a few days after I arrived, when we had the group together after the August window had closed. I got used to every player and saw what they could do on the pitch, but did also think we have many young players in key positions and we have to work with them on their tactical behaviour, on their football skills and develop their personality. You can't tell me he hasn't done that, because look at the season Cree's had, Rutter's had. So, listen, I knew Cree would be great. Didn't think he'd be this great. Didn't think he'd get Player of the Year. But he says, thank God we have had 2 or 3 experienced lads in the dressing room. Some that don't play. You've had Dallas all season, you've had Ayling for part of it, you've had Cooper, you've had Bamford, you've had Ampadu, you've had, there are some that have been around the block. Ampadu's still young, but has been around the block, has been involved in 3 relegations nonetheless. He says there's no guarantees, though, how quick you can develop, and the longer the season goes, the more trust you have in them. It's a good sign, though, that you are there in games, spotlight games, and you are capable to win these. We've won both games against Ipswich and Leicester. Huge they are. Because if we didn't win them games, we'd be nowhere near, would we? So the fact that we won both of them is massive. Big pressure away at Borough. They come through it. you know, we do have a winning mentality, and this is why this group develops in the right direction. He says we've still a bit of work to do to show this always with consistency, but the general picture is we have 90 points after 44 games. So you can't complain too much about consistency, or we wouldn't be there. We will be there. We wouldn't be there. Do you know what I mean? We're on a good path. And this is why when you get all these critics, I just think they're so wide of the mark. He's got 90 fecking points. And then people go, oh, it's the best team ever, blah, 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 blah. As though management sees there. As though anybody could manage these players. Because trust me, it ain't easy. It ain't easy. We've seen many a good manager go into football clubs, absolutely burn it, and then a new manager come in and improve it. With the same personnel. It's there. But that was everything. That was everything. Now, let me remind you as well, there's some new clothes. There's a new top. We've got some more en route as well. I'm just going to see if I can share that somehow. There is a way to share it. Please do smash a like on the video, but there's some new t-shirts, Tranquillo, Bamford shirts that are available. There will be a Creme Punk one coming soon as well. And I want to get 30k before May the 4th. So, if you're joining late, sorry Marco, sorry bud. If you're joining late, I've got three shirts to give away to represent the 30k, 3 shirts. I've got a Willie Nonto signed 3rd shirt with certificate of authenticity. We have got home Willie Nonto signed shirt with certificate of authenticity, and of course the away shirt as well, with certificate of authenticity signed by Willie Nonto. Okay, I'm going to be giving them away. Sure. Yeah, so I'll be giving them away. There will be like a way to enter it. It'll be subscribe to the channel, follow Football Prizes on Instagram, and there you go. Yeah, man. So yeah, Dawn, love that, Dawn. Boom. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. Vega, man, we're not dependent on no one's failure. We are back to winning ways. May the 4th be with you indeed, Andy. It's now 1:20. I think we've covered enough. Bamford, a major doubt. Your preview is already out against QPR. So that came out at 9 o'clock. So if you haven't watched it, that was out last night at 9 p.m. 6 o'clock will be White Rose Rivals, and that'll be your lot from me. And then around lunchtime tomorrow, I'll do a match day preview with a guest, which we'll get together. We will do that, and then we play. Locks, I think maybe Monday, mate. I think maybe Monday during the day. Much better, bro. Much better. I promise you, much better. They're on the store now, and you can check them out. Yeah, thanks always for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you tonight at 6 p.m. Peace out, people. All love. Bye-bye.